Hello there, welcome back to the Ogre, the old Git Reacts, Reviews and Off Times Reminisces. Den Edele Dood. So this is from the MDJ camp, sort of all their tongues stable, if you will. And I occasionally buy an album from there, but I have to tread warily because the artist here uses speed very often. Which always gets to me straight away. Ooh, this is fast. And so I tend to click on buy before I have a proper listen to this stuff, because it sounds like it ought to be music that's right up my street, and usually it probably is, but every now and again I just get suckered in by the pace of things, and although when I am, it's not because the album is particularly bad. It just doesn't have a doesn't hold with me, so that after 2 or 3 listens, I don't tend to go back to them very often. So when I first heard this album, I was a little bit reticent. So I've listened to it quite a few times now, albeit not from any sort of analytical point of view, just in the background. And it seems to have bedded in, so I'm fairly confident now that I shall like this album for quite a while, if not forever. Anyway, let's have a listen and we'll talk about it, or I will. You can talk to me about it, but I won't hear you as we go along. All right, there we go. So you see what I mean? The absolute clatter of the drums there, played at quite a perky pace, was what first drew me to most of his stuff. Drew me to this artist's effort here, and as I say, I had to tread warily thereafter, just to make sure that I wasn't totally suckered into something that didn't have longevity. I'm happy to report now that it seems to have it. But the other thing that intrigued me about this was it is awash with keyboards, as you can tell, and it's a sort of keyboard very often that the tone of which I don't really like. However, always exceptions, and I do like the keyboards on this. The caramel keyboards, it keeps popping into my head because they are sort of smooth and a little bit sweet, sort of coat. Well, actually, they don't. At times I thought that the keyboards coat everything else, and but it doesn't. You feel the smoothness of the keyboards separate from the clatter and the murk elsewhere, so it runs alongside it rather than smothering the edges off the rest of the music, after the rest of the instrumentation. So it works very well in that respect. the more you listen to this album, the more it presents itself to you. There are aspects that on first and second listen weren't apparent, but as I say, the more you do, the more things pop out at you. Not necessarily pop out, even sort of peek out at you. And I don't know if it's I'm going to say the bass bubbles along rather than it's a synthesizer sound, but bubbles along almost in a krautrock way, but obviously played far faster than you would experience in that genre. And there's all sorts of little aspects that peek out at you upon repeated listenings that just sort of you sort of smile and go, I didn't notice that before. And it is a bit of a morass as well. It is certainly dense, and I suppose it's like when you make a field stew and you've got your tripod and your stew pot and a fire underneath, and everything's bubbling away, and the ingredients, if you couldn't discern them at one moment, you know what they are the next when whatever it is bubbles to the top and reveals itself. So yes, it's all very dense and very energetic and intriguing, and it sounds a little bit infernal. Oh, I don't know if that's just come into my head because that's just part of the title of the song, but if that's the case, I might have subconsciously give it that descriptor from the title of the song, but even without it, I think that would have popped into my head at some point. There is something hymnal about this song. It's as if you got requested a bunch of extreme metal musicians to provide a end of life song at a funeral for somebody of whatever denomination, and the only sort of request made was make it an absolute cacophony, but give it a bit of spirituality, and again I say that in a sense of not pertaining to any particular religion, but so you certainly get the sense of being in some sort of cathedral, mosque, temple, and a group of people bashing this out with abandon in memory of somebody else, shall we say. So there you go. That was a bit like you've got devils pulling at your legs, intent on ripping you apart, whilst angels are trying to put you back together from above. So it is Because that sort of dichotomy in sound of the absolute diabolical in one sense, with the words popped into my head, and it's the divine. It wasn't particularly what I meant, but divine will do. Don't get old, folks. As I've said before, things, you try and say things and they just disappear. Even as a thought pops into your head, it disappears. It's sort of like chucking ice on a fire. You just think of something and it's melted away before you can even express it. Anyway, top and bottom of it is that this album has just got better and better for me, and has proven to have longevity. So I'm happy with it. Happy enough to say I've bought it. So what final recommendation can you have than some picky bugger like me saying I like it? Buy it if you want. Anyway, clicky parts. Catch you all next time. Cheerio.